Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to talk to me today.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. How's your other interviews been? I know you've been on a few
It's
interviews.
good. You're the last one of the day.
Oh, I feel
Yeah.
honoured.
But it's been good. It's been a really exciting day, obviously, kind of seeing the reaction to the song and everybody streaming it and downloading it. So it's been a fun day. It's been really good.
Oh, good. I've literally listened to the song this morning and I love it so much. It's
Oh,
like a
thank you.
feel good tune and I've got it stuck in my head already.
Well, that's what we want. We want everybody to like just dance and feel happy. It's a crazy time at the moment. And I think I just wanted to kind of create a moment for people to just shake it off and just, yeah, it's kind of like the happy breakup song.
Yes, that is exact thing. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Okay, so kind of tell me a bit about yourself. I know like a load of people know you anyway. So just introduce yourself as you want to be introduced.
Hello, my name is Joe Mcelderry and I am a singer, performer, entertainer, jack of all trades, master and on.
Love that. Also the winner of the X Factor, of course.
Of course. I missed that bit out. I apologize.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's been ages. I can't believe how many years it's been already. So what's the favourite song you've kind of written? Either you can do it unreleased or released on.
I have a song called LOVE,
Yes.
which I wrote about a year and a half ago, and I performed it on my last solo tour that I did before all of the world went crazy. And I love that song. It's about accepting who you are and being true to who you are and not being ashamed of who you love or what you love or, your background or where you've come from. It's about embracing just you and loving every inch of yourself and others. And it's a big up tempo number. And we performed it on my tour as a little kind of exclusive treat. And the reaction that the crowd give it every night was amazing. So I think it's attached the feeling of the song with that.
Yeah, and the memories that come with that on your solo tour too.
Yeah.
Okay, so what inspired you to start singing, music writing? What kind of inspired you? Who inspired
Well,
you?
Well, I was a big fan of like pop concerts and kind of, Britney and Beyonce, and I love Michael Jackson. I love Luther Vandross, George Michael. So I grew up kind of around all of that music. My mom and my dad and my family are kind of big music fans.
Yeah.
So with that kind of, it was always around, and my family always kind of had their like party pieces, the karaoke kind of, you know,
Love.
staples of what they'd get up and do every time we had a party or something. So yeah, like I started from a young age in terms of being around it all, but in terms of singing wise, I didn't really start singing properly until I was about 14.
Oh wow.
Um yeah, so it was quite late. I love performing arts and I love drama and I love doing imitations of people, but singing was kind of the last thing out of all three that I really went for.
Yes, that's so good. Like, kind of, do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
The first song I ever wrote was a song from my Here's What I Believe album, and
Oh,
it was called What Have I Done? And I went to a writing camp just after that, but just before I went into the studio with the MD, who was my musical director at the time. And he was from up north, the same as me. We had a couple of weeks off, and he said, "Fancy coming into the studio today and just bouncing around a few ideas?" And it just unlocked the key. I'd kind of gone through a breakup at the time. I was ready to kind of offload some emotional baggage.
yeah.
And I went in and I just wrote it down about how I felt about everything. And then I think once I started that and once I built up my confidence to know that I had something to say when I walked into a writing session, because I think at first, you never want to be that artist that kind of comes in and is like, oh, I haven't really got anything to say today. But it's just kind of trusting the creative process. So once I'd unleashed that, I was like, you know what? I've got something to say and I'm going to write it down and chip me ideas in.
Yeah, I think so. It's good, like from personal experiences too, because then it kind of comes from you as well.
Yeah, and also, not only that, I think, I'm a sponge. Like I listen to friends, I talk to friends, and we all cancel each other through all of our
Yeah.
dramas in life that everybody has. And I receive all of that. And then when I'm in the studio writing about whatever it may be, I draw on those as well. So I always say to them, if I ever write a song about it, I'll not say it's about you, don't worry.
Just keep that one on the down low.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so congratulations, your new single's out. Baby Had Your Fun.
It
What's
is.
the reaction been to that?
It's great. It's climbing up the charts already, which is wonderful because I haven't released a song in a long time. I didn't know if people would kind of jump on it straight away, but they have. They've embraced it. They're loving it. The feedback's great. Everybody's sharing it online and saying that it's really feel good and they want to dance to it. And they're a little bit annoyed with us that I've put a song out that they can't go to a club and dance to it. And I'm like, listen, I don't control that. That's not my fault.
That's not my fault. I'm not the Prime Minister. I'm not COVID.
Exactly. Speak to Boris.
Yeah, exactly. You actually filmed your video at a club, didn't you? Jade Thirlwell's club? Was
I
that?
did, yeah. So she's a good friend of mine,
Yeah,
and she's got a bar in South Shields, which obviously, like everywhere else across the country and the world, has been affected by coronavirus, couldn't open. And I knew she had this club, and obviously, when they released the regulations and restrictions in the summer a bit, and you were allowed to shoot videos, I just texted her and I said, "Listen, this song I have, it really lends itself to kind of being shot in a club. Is there any chance we can use your club?" And she was like, "Listen, it's not open, it's free and it's ready to go." So, I got my team of people that go in there. We put extra lights in and made it like a kind of atmospheric on top of already all of her incredible lights she's got in there. And yeah, we kind of created this dance party vibe. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have had the club filled with people
yeah,
just bouncing around having a great time, but we couldn't for safety. So there's me and 4 dancers.
yeah.
But the way we've edited it and the way we've shot it with lighting and stuff, we've managed to make it kind of still have that party atmosphere. I'm really proud of how we pulled it off in such a restricted time.
I love that. Do you know where you're in the charts at the moment?
I believe
Do you know
last time we checked, it
what?
was 13 on the pop charts, and in the official iTunes, it's already in the top 30, I think. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's such amazing. Congratulations on that.
thank you. Thank you.
What was the inspiration behind this song? Did you just want it to be feel good, or did you have an inspiration from it?
I had that. I think we've all had that moment when we've broken up with someone where you kind of have them first kind of couple of days where you want to just mope around, you want to get the ice cream, put the sad film on and feel sorry for yourself. And then you kind of have that moment where you kind of get your fighting spirit and you're like, actually, no, I'm not going to make this person make me feel like this.
Yes.
I'm going to call my friends up. I'm going to go when you're allowed, obviously. I'm going to go on a night out. I'm going to get the drinks in and I'm going to hit the dance floor and I'm going to shake this sadness away and
Yeah,
dance it out. So it's kind of putting a spin on, feeling heartbroken, but also not letting it dampen your spirit and not changing who you are and just being like, no, no, no. Yes, I feel sad, but I'm going to put a positive spin on this.
yes, got to get it somewhere. Okay, so when did you kind of record the song, and how do you record and write the song? How do you structure it?
So we recorded it. We wrote this just before lockdown in about February last year. We wrote the most of it, and it was all saved on an iPhone. We were just in a room with somebody who I know, and recorded it all on an iPhone voice note and everything. Saved it, and then we finished it off in lockdown, and via Zoom.
Yeah,
And then I went to London when the restrictions were when you were allowed to travel, obviously. And I went to the studio and recorded it. And obviously, then trying to piece all of it together and promotional stuff and radio things and making it all fit in these crazy times has been it's been a challenge, but it's been a real focus and something exciting to know that through the means of technology you can still do all these things when we're so restricted.
exactly. And I bet it's so like nice to be able to still go to interviews and still get your music out there rather
Yeah,
than.
I mean, normally a day like today, I'd be kind of here, there, and everywhere in cars, going to TV studios, going to radio stations, events, press events. And so it's strange doing it all from your living room, but it's still been really fun. I've still really kind of enjoyed the process, and we've still got loads more stuff coming out over the next couple of weeks. Got the video out next Friday,
Yeah,
and a few other exciting things to announce.
yeah, because I saw as well that you're doing a dance class, aren't you? Learn the dance, was that it?
Yes, we're doing a single release party, a dance class. We've got more online shows coming. Just trying to keep people entertained from their living rooms. My living room behind this camera is full of camera stands, tripods, ring lights, cameras, mixing desks. It's a production here.
Proper studio. Bring your studio to your home. Do you still live in Newcastle?
I do, yeah. I
Yeah.
never moved away from here. So I live in South Shields, just outside of Newcastle.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what's your favourite lyric from the new single?
I love, you said, "Don't worry, my love," as you spun another narcissist lie. I
I
just,
read that you wanted to get narcissist in a song.
I did, yeah. I've been dying to get that word in, and I've tried with a few other songs, and it just didn't work. And then when we had this one, I was like, I feel like a narcissist lie, is a really clever kind of play on of, we've all met those people.
Yes.
And I was like, and I'm so pleased we got it in, and I'm so pleased that people picked up. They were
Yeah.
like, "That is a hard word to get in a song," and I was like, "Yes, I know."
Thanks for that feedback. Okay, so what did you want people to take away from the song when they were listening to the song?
I wanted them to feel good. I wanted them to feel empowered. And I wanted them to feel positive and have like a fighting spirit from it.
I love that. I love that. It made me feel like I just want to dance.
Yeah, and to make people dance.
Yeah.
I think the minute the guitar kind of kicks in at the beginning, you want to get out your seat. You're kind of like, "Oh, what's this?"
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so what was kind of like your favorite thing about releasing the track? Because I'm sure it's so exciting being able to
Well, I
get
think this is kind of a new era of music for me, so it's been quite refreshing. Like, planning around that. It's kind of I'm a lot more. I'm 30 this year. I'm
wow.
maturing.
You don't look
I'm
it.
maturing. Hopefully, like a fine wine.
Yes, 100%. Show me your secrets.
But I've been in the industry 11 years now, and it's been a ride. And I've learned a lot. There's been many ups and downs, and there's something quite refreshing about in all of this kind of adversity we've all faced as a country and the world. That I've managed to come up with something like this and get it out there and just kind of refresh my genre of music for the new year.
Yes, I love that. So how has your music style kind of changed over the years?
Well, I mean, I've done loads of different genres. I've gone from musical theatre to pop to opera off the back of Pops at Opera Star. I think just more confident. I'm more confident in my decisions. I'm more confident in my creative decisions. I trust my instinct a lot more now than I did back then. I'm not afraid to say no. I think that's a big thing. Learning how to say no. You can say no to somebody politely, and you don't have to worry about I used to be so terrified of turning things down, but like I do things that feel good. I do things that feel right for me, creatively, and when I'm doing shows or if I'm taking part in TV things, I trust my own decisions more now more than ever, I think.
Yeah. And what would you kind of give like advice to for someone who does want to go into the music industry?
I think you have to go into it because you love it. I don't believe you should go into it because you want to be famous, or anything like that. I think you should go into it because you love music and you're a performer, because there are moments where it can be a really frustrating industry. It can be really tough. It
Yeah.
can be really cutthroat, and you have to ride through all of that and ride above it and also enjoy what you do. And to do that, you have to love what you do,
Yeah.
That's certainly been my driving force. I love what I do and I love performing. And a lot of our job is kind of navigating behind the scenes through the industry. And that's not always the most pleasant part.
No.
So it's learning how to get through that.
Yes, 100%. So have you got anything else coming up? So like any tours coming up that you can give us a little sneak peek on?
Well, we're in kind of limbo at the moment as of what we can do,
Yeah.
like everybody. I think we're waiting to see how the next couple of months pan out. Like I said before, we've got the online shows all the way through February and March, which we're announcing this week, every Friday and Saturday through February and March. And you can go to joemcelderryofficial.com. They're all going to be on there. And then as soon as we can get out on the road properly, I will be there with bells on. I cannot wait.
I bet it's just going to go all round.
Yeah, everywhere. Oh,
Yeah.
constantly.
Oh, so obviously you've got a lot of like fans. I see them on Twitter quite a lot. And what do you want to say to them?
Do you know what? I cannot do any of this, without them. And especially in the last 6 to 7 months with everything that's been going on, they have showed up for me online. They've turned up to every show that I've done online and supported me and honestly kept me going through a time that's been, like difficult for everyone. You know, it's a crazy time, and everybody's kind of concerned at where it ends and where it finishes and where we go back to normal. And they've really, really helped me. And this is kind of the cherry on the cake, getting to put this out as we go into the new year.
Love that. So what's your last question? Where can people stream the new single?
It's everywhere on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, Amazon. The video will be on YouTube on Friday. We've got a lyric video up there now. Yeah, everywhere. To all your normal places where you go for your music.
Brilliant. Love that. I'm going to keep listening to it. After
Thank
this,
you.
I'll just keep listening to it.
Please
Thank you
do.
so
Please
much.
do.
Yeah, thank you so much for speaking to me, because it is kind of like a new YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm just setting up. So I just kind of like, oh, let me just see if anyone wants to do an interview. So
Yeah, great. Thanks for having us, and I hope it goes well.
thank you so much. I hope you keep safe, you and your family. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon, hopefully.
Thank you. Have a lovely weekend.
And to you too. Thank you so much.
Bye now. See ya.